the voice of Virginia, John Reid.
How's everybody? This is great. Well, this is terrific. Thank you all for being here where it all started. And good evening, Virginia, to everybody who is watching. This is clearly not the outcome that I had hoped for, that we had hoped for, but it's one that I accept with gratitude, humility, and a deep sense of pride in what we all built together over the last year. To every volunteer, supporter, donor, friend, to my partner Alonzo and our family, I want to say thank you. You gave your time, your talent, and your hearts to this campaign. You believed in something bigger than politics. You believed in the real Virginia. 281 days ago, we embarked on this journey together right here in this room in my hometown of Henrico County. And when we started this journey, I said the race wasn't really about me, it was about us. It was about the families who love this Commonwealth and just want a fair shot. It was about the small business owners who keep our communities running. It was about the parents who believe that every child deserves a great education and every classroom deserves respect. Looking back to that time, we felt lucky to see every little dollar come in, every name that was signed on a petition, and every person who stepped forward to offer their support over those many months. We were told we might not ever make it through the primary, but in the face of an uphill fight, we stayed the course, put in the work, got on the ballot. We built a movement from the ground to the grassroots and on up all across the Commonwealth. When I became the nominee, we hit one of the most challenging times in my entire life, if I'm being honest with you. And when the politics got super nasty, when the political establishment came to bulldoze me out of the way, I stood my ground. And standing my ground, I really wasn't sure who would hold that line with me. The answer was something I would never have expected. We had a movement that swelled all across the Commonwealth, from the grassroots activists within this party and the people of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and I will never forget it. Thank you. So you may remember I went to the most conservative, most evangelical corner of the state the day after I was told to step away. And I found a room full of supporters who told me loud and clear that they had my back. The next week, I came here, right here where we are tonight, and we sent a message that was heard throughout the Commonwealth and that I hope each and every one of you will carry with you for the rest of your lives. When the political establishment comes at you, when they tell you you're alone and to stand aside, do not do that. Do not capitulate. Do not let other people tell you how it's going to be. Do not ever back down. The people in this room, we ran the hardest working, furthest traveling, most transparent, most energetic, and quite frankly, the most creative campaign in the history of the Commonwealth. Can I tell you, when I started this journey, I sought the counsel of a man who knows something about making history as a new kind of candidate himself, the 66th governor of Virginia, L. Douglas Wilder. He told me that I needed to get in the car, drive everywhere, meet every voter, hear about their issues, and when I felt like I'd seen enough people, shaken enough hands, and visited every corner, to do even more. So what became a hallmark of the campaign was what you noticed. Cardinal News even called it unconventionally conventional a few weeks ago. I call it the real Virginia way. And I want to thank my old boss, George Allen. I want to thank Jim Gilmore. I want to thank Bob McDonnell, former governors who stood with me through all of this and never wavered. We are blessed to live in the cradle of American democracy. The Commonwealth of Virginia produced the founders, the greatest presidents, the boldest leaders, the most prudent jurists, the most thoughtful legislators, the strongest threads in the fabric that's woven our nation together. And for the last 281 days, I've had the most distinct privilege to travel to every corner of Virginia. Along the road, I've gotten to know and work to understand what it is that brings all of us together to make this Commonwealth great. I've walked alongside the watermen of Tangier Island and Chincoteague. I've sat the wreckage of Daint with families who just lost everything from flooding. I've heard and shared the concerns of the federal workers in Northern Virginia and Tidewater who'd lost a job or been furloughed during a Democrat-led shutdown. I've sat down for coffee with farmers who are worried about the future of their entire way of life, and I've consoled the families who've lost a loved one to crime and drug abuse. In the tens of thousands, well over 100,000 miles that I've traveled, I've heard the real Virginia stories of thousands of people and families. I gave my word from day one that I would be a voice for all Virginians. And the thousands of conversations I've had along the way gave birth to our Real Virginia agenda. You may have noticed that as we traveled, we released a new piece of actual policy ideas. Every single week, we took the concerns of working families and did our best to build solutions-based, pragmatic, common-sense plans to meet Virginians where they are. We built a movement for the federal worker in Northern Virginia, where I once lived, the veteran in Norfolk and Virginia Beach, where I spent summers growing up, the rancher in Southwest Virginia, where my mother's from, the recently laid-off factory worker from Emporia, where my dad, the former delegate, grew up, and the shipbuilders of Newport News. It has not been easy. In fact, it's hardly ever been easy the last several months, but then nothing that's good ever is. So let's be honest. We did not win tonight. I did not win tonight, but we did not lose this fight. The real Virginia agenda was never about one campaign or one candidate. It's about a movement for families, for freedom, and for the future of the Commonwealth of Virginia. So, I have told you that I wanted to conduct myself like a gentleman, a Virginia gentleman. I would like to congratulate my neighbor here in Henrico, Abigail, for making history as the first female governor of our Commonwealth. I want to thank Winsome Sears and Jason Miaris for uniting with me in the last several weeks of this campaign. And of course, this is the part of the speech where I'm supposed to congratulate my opponent for a competitive, honest, hard-fought, and fairly won race. But I want to thank every one of you, and I want to thank my partner, Alonzo, for standing with me. You've been great. He's been great. I want to thank my sister Lisa and my brother-in-law Patrick and my mom, Judy. My Aunt Wanda and my late Uncle George, who voted for me just before the end. I thank him for hanging in there. We didn't even have to pull a Democrat trick on that one. He really voted for me. I want to thank, in all seriousness, my entire family and our friends who are here tonight for being the strength that held me up for so many months. The volunteers who've given tireless effort, the guardians who've kept us safe, the fundraising team that's been relentless, knocking on every door, the pursuit of support when doors were slammed in my face, the staff that has spent late nights and early mornings tirelessly finding ways to stretch every dollar, and most importantly, the hundreds of thousands and counting voters of Virginia who called on me with their votes to be a voice for all Virginians. With the results in, I want those who prevailed tonight to succeed, because when Virginia succeeds, we all do. It is my hope that they will pledge, as I did, to work with anyone who wants to see our Commonwealth succeed. But let me also say this, I'm not packing up. and we are not going away. To the people who stood with us, who poured their energy into this cause, you built something that is very real, something that is worth protecting, and something that will last long after tonight. We built a campaign rooted in respect for service, reward for hard work, and belief in community, and that cannot be allowed to end here. Tomorrow, I will get up, just like I always do, and we will go back to our jobs and our families, our schools, our churches. We'll roll up our sleeves. We keep fighting for the values that make our Commonwealth strong, for the Commonwealth of Virginia that raised us. So please, do not walk out of here hanging your heads tonight. I'm not going to. I want you to lift them up, because we ran a good race, we fought a good fight, we stood in the arena together, you told the truth, which is a rarity in this business, and we believed in the Commonwealth. And you reminded a lot of people that decency, conviction, and common sense do still have a place in public life. And that, I think, is something to be proud of. So the real Virginia is still alive. It's up to us to continue to protect it. It's working, it's hopeful, it still deserves a voice, and I intend to still be one of those voices. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for your support. God bless you, and God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you.
Travel along, there's one day here and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside every darkened door.